Okay. Why am I so tired? Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different, but I've been putting it off for a while. I've been wanting to do this since the beginning of my booktube, but I've just been putting it off. I don't know why. I really honestly do not know why I keep putting it off, but today we're finally gonna do the booktube newbie tag. I found a few questions that are from videos that I've watched. Let me move you guys up a little bit. They're just simple questions just to get to know me. I feel like if you've watched my videos, you've probably know my personality a little bit by now, what I like to read and my opinions on books. But if you are new here and would like to stay and get to know me, these are the questions. I try to write them down so it doesn't seem so all over the place, because I know sometimes my mind goes all over the place. So let's just jump right in. I don't want this video to be too long. I know a sit down video like this can get a little bit redundant and boring to watch, so I'm just gonna go really quickly and answer some of these questions. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So I've always loved editing videos. I remember when I was in middle school, it's such a weird story because my 8th grade English teacher, he was very eccentric and he wanted us to kind of act out Macbeth. We were reading Macbeth. We had a class project where the entire class had to become a theater team, basically. So we had actors, we had script writers, we had camera holders, and everyone elected me to be kind of the director and the editor for it. So I was so happy. I was like, I love editing videos. I would love to do this. And that just kind of solidified my love for not filming, but, you know, editing videos. I actually thought about majoring in film, but that's a whole nother thing. And then I've also really loved reading as a child. Why am I so formal right now? No, when I was younger, I used to love reading. Not used to, I still love reading, obviously. Those two hobbies have always been with me. So the last year and a half, I've been watching a lot of booktube and book talk because you guys know I work from home. So sometimes when things are slow, I'll watch some YouTube and watch some booktube. And I just got the idea of like, why don't I do this? You know, like I'm already reading so much. Why not just make my own so I can talk to people about it? Because another reason why I wanted to make the channel was that I wanted to rant about books. And I know I have best friends that love reading, but sometimes I can't rant to them the way I want to rant because they've never read the book before and I can't spoil it and they wouldn't be able to have a conversation with me. You know, like obviously I don't spoil my reading vlogs, but the comments can be like, oh my god, I love this book and blah 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 blah, and I can have conversations with you guys. I was craving that because sometimes there are books that I'm like, I need to talk to someone about this, and so I created a channel. Question number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? I don't think I would categorize this as unique, but it's fun, you know? I enjoy reading mangas. I recently got into reading mangas because I've always loved anime. Growing up with an older brother that's like 7 years older than me, he loved anime, and I think growing up with him, that's how I got into playing video games and also just watching anime with him. So I've always loved anime and like Studio Ghibli animations, Naruto. I have not started One Piece. I almost said One Piece, but One Piece is intimidating because there's so many episodes. And then I recently got into reading mangas because obviously not all mangas are made into animes, just like how books are not always made into movies or shows. I've been enjoying it so far. It's a cute kind of buffer between books because obviously you have really pretty art to look at while you're reading. So that's my little fun and unique thing. I've been getting into manga, so if you guys like manga, I would love to talk about it. What I'm basically getting at is I want to share my journey with manga reading with you guys if you guys also enjoy reading it. And then speaking of sharing my journey, I've been telling myself to kind of get into more genres lately. I used to only really read fantasy with the subplot of romance and then dystopian. Yeah, it was mainly just fantasy. So I wanted to challenge myself to read other genres. I've already jumped into romance. I want to jump into thriller. I've kind of jumped into mystery, but it's been more like YA mystery. Explore and widen my horizons, as you can say. And I wanted to share that journey with you guys because obviously there are probably expert romance lovers or expert thriller lovers or expert mystery lovers, you get what I mean, out there that can recommend me really good books that I usually would not be able to find on my own because I don't know those authors very well. Question number 3, what are you most excited about for this new channel? I think the most exciting thing about starting a channel is starting and building a community, meeting new people. I'm so excited to kind of create a safe and welcoming community where people can talk about books and not have to worry about getting bashed on for different opinions. You know, book talk can get a little crazy sometimes. People have really different opinions and then people get really passionate and say like, oh well, you're wrong, or oh, you're stupid for thinking that, oh, I love this book, how do you not like it, oh, maybe you're just not smart enough to like it. People have their own opinions on books, just like how people have opinions on movies and shows, right? Just because we don't like reading nonfiction self-help books does not mean we're not intelligent. I wanted to create a safe community where people can talk and know that I won't judge them if they hate my favorite books, and I hope that you wouldn't judge me if I hated your favorite books. Question number 4 goes into why do you love reading? It's a broad and simple question, and it's funny that I don't know how to answer it because there's so much that goes in my head when I'm asked this. I feel like this is such a cliche and overused answer, but it's so realistic and it's so real, and I understand everyone that says this. It's an escape from reality. It's your way of jumping into a new world and trying to forget about what you're stressed about in the moment and just read about characters that don't exist, and you know that these problems are super interesting but you know they're not real. A big thing why I loved reading as a kid also was because my parents used to work a lot, so when I got home from school, I did homework, yes, but what do you watch as a kid? I don't even remember what shows I watched after school because all the good shows were before school, I'm pretty sure. So I picked up books and I started reading them, and it was like you're watching a movie but in your head, and it's everything you can imagine, because let's be real, your imagination is so much better than any CGI can do, because you can imagine the most wild things, and that's just how you see the world and that's how you love the world. So reading books became the entertainment that I needed as a kid. Books are produced so much quicker than movies or films. Any good movies or good shows are produced so slowly. You could read so many good books in the middle of that. Alright, question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? The earliest memory of a series was reading Twilight. Who let me read Twilight as an elementary school kid? I remember this vividly. Like I said, my brother 6.5 years older than me. So when I was in elementary school, he was in high school and I was reading Twilight, right? And he had a girlfriend that loved Twilight, and she was like, hey, I have Eclipse, like you don't have to ask your parents to buy it, you can just borrow mine. And I remember vividly just sitting in my living room reading Eclipse as in, how old are you then? Like 8, 9, 10 maybe? And I'm just reading about vampires, like grumpy vampires and werewolves fighting for this one girl. I remember flying through it. No one batted an eye. Now I think back like, what? That's crazy. That's one of the funniest memories I have about reading. And then I remember I also really loved the Percy Jackson series, The Hunger Games. I've been looking for this series ever since I first read it as a kid. I just forgot the name of it, but I knew the concept. I was like, this kid wakes up and they died, so they're in the afterlife now and they're ghosts, and there's just so many interesting aspects of it, and I just don't know what the book is about. And I recently figured out the title. It's by the same author that wrote Scythe, which is so fascinating to me that it was right in front of me the entire time. I just never knew. That's a really long-winded answer for a really simple question, but yes, those are the books that got me into reading. Question number 6. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think this is easier said than done. It's basically not letting the trolls get to you. When you put yourself out there into social media, any type of platform that anyone can see you on. Obviously, there are gonna be people that are either trolls or just not considerate of other people's feelings, and they will just say whatever they want to say. I think that's gonna be the hardest to overcome because obviously, being someone new on social media, I have my own private social media, but publicly like this, it's a little scary because you never know who's gonna see your videos and you never know how they're gonna react. And if I ever get a truly hateful comment, I hope that I can see that they're just not worth my time. Obviously, it is easier said than done. Sometimes people can hurt your feelings without you even wanting it to, or you think that's just stupid, they're just stupid. There's no reason for me to listen to that. But sometimes it sticks with you, so I hope I'm able to overcome that. Luckily, everyone has been super, super nice, so I haven't had to worry about that. When did you start reading? Elementary school. That's simple. We already went through that, so I won't go through that again, but elementary school. Question number 8. Where do you read? Anywhere. Honestly, mostly at home, obviously. In my bed, at my desk, on my couch. Mostly. Now that we're in New York and we're in this temporary spot, there isn't that many places for me to read because it is a small little area. And if you live in New York and if you guys know about New York, that's just how it is. I'm making do with what I have for the moment, and I just read anywhere. I like to go to libraries, I like to read at cafes. When the weather gets really nice, I would love to read at a park, so anywhere, honestly. Question number 9. What kind of books do you like to read? So I said this earlier in the video, but I used to really just love reading fantasy. Having this world of magic and creatures and people that you would never see in real life, it just does something to my brain. I think it's just another form of escapism. I can jump into this new magical world where people can do magic or they look different. You name it, it's just another form of me not having to stress about everyday life, me not having to stress about my exams that are coming up or my work stress or just family stress or anything. Like, it's a way for me to just relax and worry about fictional characters rather than real people in my life. I do really want to obviously get into other genres. I really want to try high fantasy. And then question number 10, the final question, is what does your book collection look like? So unfortunately, I cannot show you my book collection at the moment because I don't have everything and I don't have my bookcases. Like I said, I'm here in my temporary space until my house is finished renovating. I have a lot of books. I bought a lot of books recently, but I do not have the big chunk of my books or have it organized in a way to show you guys. But I can show you that, like, I have like my TBR and then I have like a big stack of books right there, but I do not have it organized on bookcases. But if you go back into my other videos, they do have my bookcases on it. I have a video on organizing my bookcases, showing you my physical TBR, all of that. So if you're interested in watching that, definitely go check those videos out. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, I hopefully once I move into the new place, I will do bookcase tour, office tour, whatever you name it, bookcase organizing, book organizing, I don't know, all the above. But yeah, those are all the questions for this video. If you guys have any other questions, I would love to answer them in the comments, and I hope you guys learned something new. Also, I feel like this should have been said earlier, but my name is Lucy. I am 24 and I love reading. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!